Students, we already have learned equation for force acting on current carrying conductor, that is F is equal to I into L bar cross B bar. So in the previous video sessions we have discussed about this equation. We'll use this equation and we'll try to work out this problem. A wire is bent in the form of equilateral triangle PQR. This side is given as 10 centimeter. And carries a current of 5 ampere. There is some current flowing over here in PQR, and this current is 5 ampere. It is placed in magnetic field of magnitude 2 Tesla. So magnetic field P is equal to 2 Tesla, and the direction is perpendicular to the plane of the loop. Find the forces on the three sides of the triangle. You are supposed to calculate force on the sides of the triangle. Now, whenever if there is, as it is closed loop, remember that this is closed loop, and the loop wire starts at P. From P to Q it is one segment, Q to R it is one segment, and R to P it is one segment, right? So now if you want to find out force on each side, you can just write it as force on each side, you can just write it as F is equal to I into L bar cross B bar, or you can write it as BIL into sine 90. However, angle between this wire and magnetic field is 90 degrees, so I am taking it as sine 90. Sine 90 will be equal to 1 BIL. L is length of the conductor. So force experienced will be 2 Tesla into 5 ampere into length of the conductor, it is 10 into 10 power minus 2 meter. This gives you F is equal to 10 into 10 into 10 power minus 2, which is equal to 1 Newton. Force on each side of the loop, it is 1 Newton. That's fair enough. That means force on PQ magnitude will be equal to force on QR magnitude is equal to force on RP magnitude is equal to 1 Newton. But what about the direction of that force? You need to calculate direction of that force. So in order to find out the direction of the force, we will be using left hand rule in order to find out the direction. Magnetic field is into, and this is F force, and this is magnetic field, and this is current. And in the segment PQ current is from P to Q, magnetic field is inside, and this is force. Therefore, upon PQ there is a force which is acting in upward direction. This is force acting in upward direction. Next, from Q to R, force is in this direction, so force will be like this, and upon RP force will be like this. Okay, those are the net forces. Upon these three segments, force is acting towards this side. Now what about this? It can be drawn like this. Check it up. One force is upward, another force is this side, another force is this side, and magnitude of these all forces are equal, so it obey Lami's theorem obviously, and angle between those are also equal. This angle is equal to this angle is equal to this angle, and magnitude of this is F, magnitude of this is F, magnitude of this is F. Angle is 120 degrees here, angle is 120 degrees here, angle is 120 degrees here. Overall, if it is three dimensional, it will be 120. So this is the force, but here it is two-dimensional. You need not take this angle as 120. It's two-dimensional, so no need of taking this 120. So this is the force overall acting on the loop. Like what will be net force acting then? F net will be equal to 0. The net force acting on this triangular loop will be equal to 0. So overall, the net force experienced by the triangular loop is 0. Individually, if there is only one segment placed over there, there is net force. But overall, if you are considering this as a triangular loop, because of the direction of current is being changed in each loop, therefore, the net force acting on the loop will be 0. So therefore, you can make a note of that. What is note here? Remember that magnetic field or force in closed loop placed in uniform magnetic field is equal to 0. This is the note which you should remember. So if you are taking any closed loop, force acting on that closed loop will be equal to 0. Yeah. Students, come to this example where you are connecting one battery and length of this wire is 50 centimeter. As you are connecting one battery here, there will be current flowing in this conductor, and that current I am considering it as I. And total length of the conductor here, we are considering it as only 50 centimeter. And this is current carrying conductor, which is placed in external magnetic field. Now, what will be force acting upon this? Force acting will be I into L bar cross B bar. B is magnetic field. This is equal to I L B into sine 90, which is equal to I is V divided by R into L into B. L is already been given 50 centimeter, but magnetic field is not given to you. Voltage is not given to you. So therefore, if corresponding voltage and current is being given and resistance of the conductor is being given, you can find out net force acting on the system. This is one example. Now coming to example number 2, we have a loop. Like this is a wire in which current I is passing through. And there is a magnetic force which is acting in upward direction. And there is gravitational force which is acting in downward direction. Right? So if at all, when you are placing a current carrying conductor in air, in magnetic field, it will experiences two force. One is gravitational force and the other one is magnetic force. Gravitational force will be acting in downward direction. Magnetic force will be acting in upward direction. So overall, this will at some particular steady state, you can write at steady state, force acting in upward direction is equal to force acting in downward direction. Now force acting in upward direction is magnetic force, which is equal to force acting in downward direction. It is gravitational force mg. So what is magnetic force acting on this conductor? It is BIL, which is equal to m into g. Right? You can find out value of L. You can find out magnetic field required. You can find out current in the conductor by using this expression such that the wire is stationary in air. This is one more example you can use. Like you can use these two concepts in solving problems. Likewise, so let us take some more examples. This is example where you have a semicircular wire and in which current is passing through, magnetic field is given as B. Now, whenever you are dealing with magnetic field, magnetic force acting on current carrying conductor, we have relation F is equal to I into L bar cross B bar. And remember, this L bar is displacement vector of current in the circuit or current in the loop. So that means if suppose current is starting at this position, here is the starting point. Let me name it as A, and from here it is entering in, it is going through this loop and it is finally coming to this new position. I am considering it as C. Now, what is the net displacement of this vector? Net displacement of this current? This is the net displacement of the current. Now, what will be its length? This is radius r and this is radius r because it is semicircular arc. What is L bar taken here? L bar is equal to 2 times radius r. Okay, remember that when you are using BIL sin theta formula, L is the net displacement vector. You should not take length of the loop. If it is a straight line, L is length of the loop. Length of the loop and displacement of the charged particle throughout that loop will be same. But if it is not straight loop, if it is curved or if it is any other irregular shaped loop, in such cases, you will be calculating L as total displacement of the charged particle in the loop from initial to final point. Just like how I have done here, you can now write down F will be equal to I. What is length in this case? It is 2r. And magnetic field is B, sin 90 will be equal to 1. Therefore, magnetic force acting will be equal to 2 times BIR. And this force can be calculated by using Fleming's left hand rule. Magnetic field is inside and current carrying conductor is in this direction. Force is exactly upward. Therefore, it will experience a force in upward direction like this. Okay, that's next example. Coming to other one, we have a circular loop of radius r. This is a circular loop. What is L bar here? L bar will be equal to 0. Therefore, F will be equal to 0. For the closed circular loop, L bar will be equal to 0. That means where the starting point is there, to that point current comes over there. So net displacement of the current will be equal to 0. So total length, net displacement length will be 0. So therefore, force experienced by closed circular loop in magnetic field is 0. Next, coming to this example, here we have irregular shaped loop. This is irregular shaped loop. Where is the starting point? Here is the starting point. Here is the ending point. And you just draw one vector from starting point to ending point, and that vector I am writing it as L. So whatever the length may be the loop, you should take effective length L itself here in this case. L is effective length of the loop. Therefore, I can write F is equal to B I L sin 90, because the plane of the conductor and magnetic field both are perpendicular to each other. So sin 90 will be equal to 1. So magnetic force F is equal to BIL. And the direction of force, you can just use left hand rule. Current is in the direction of L bar and magnetic field is inside. The thumb represents force. Therefore, this will be the force acting on the conductor. So it should just go upward. Yeah. Students, we have a conductor which is placed in external magnetic field. This is magnetic field B bar. And it is length of the conductor. Let me take this as segment 1. Let me take this as segment 2. Let me take it as segment 3. And current in this conductor is going downward, and in this it is leftward, and in this it is upward. So current is starting at this point and it is going over here. Now what about the force acting on this conductor? So magnetic field is inside. You can use left hand rule and we can find out magnetic field. So for the first segment, force is left side. In the same way, you just change the direction of current. The second segment, force is downward. And in the same way, you can change the direction of current. So in the third segment, force is in this direction. Right? Now, overall, see Fm. This I consider it as F1. This I consider it as F2. This I consider it as F3. Right? So net force on the loop is F1 bar plus F2 bar plus F3 bar, which is equal to F net. Now F1 bar, it is right side. What is magnitude of F1? Magnitude of F1 will be equal to B, I and L, and this is right side, so I am taking it as I cap. F2 will be equal to B, I, L, and this will be minus J cap. F3 will be equal to B, I, L, and it is left side, so I can write it as minus I cap. What about net force acting here? It will be B, I, L, I cap minus B, I, L, J cap minus B, I, L into I cap. This and this gets cancelled. So F net will be equal to minus B, I, L, J cap. Therefore, this loop move downward with a force BIL acting on it. See, here force F is not equal to 0 since it is not closed loop. It is not closed loop. Therefore, that's the reason why even though this force and this force gets cancelled, but there is one force acting in downward direction. As a result, overall, that loop will be pulled in downward direction. It goes down. That's magnetic force acting on the current loop, which is placed here. Yeah. Students, this is one current carrying conductor and it is of infinite length. Now, this is current carrying conductor of infinite length. What is magnetic field produced because of it? Magnetic field produced because of this current carrying conductor at any particular distance is mu naught I divided by 2 pi into x, where x is the distance. Okay, this is magnetic field. And what about magnetic field direction? Above the loop it is outside and below the loop it is into. Therefore, magnetic field here will be outside and magnetic field here will be into. Magnetic field here is also into. Magnetic field here is also into. Right? Now, this is a closed loop. Observe, it is a closed loop, and this closed loop, it is in the magnetic field which is a variable. Understand this carefully. Note, magnetic field produced here is non-uniform. Therefore, force acting on closed loop is non-zero. This is non-uniform magnetic field. That's the reason why the force experienced by these segments will be different. Therefore, force will not be equal to 0. Let me explain. Let me make it clear. I'll consider this as part A, and this is B, and this is C, and this is D. AB is the segment which is closer to the magnetic field, closer to the conductor. It is at a distance of 2 centimeter. Therefore, clearly you can understand that force acting on AB is not equal to force acting on CD. Likewise, in this case, from B to C and A to D, magnitude of force acting on AD is equal to magnitude of force acting on BC, because it is vertical. It is vertical. So as it is vertical, the magnetic force experienced by AD segment and as well as BC segment will be identical. So their magnitudes will be same. Now, if you observe carefully, the magnetic force upon BC segment, you should find out its direction. Use left hand rule and find out the force. Magnetic field is into the plane, and current carrying conductor, it is downward. So this will experience a force right side, FBC. Okay. And what about this one, FDA? FDA, exactly the current direction is reversed. Therefore, it will experience a force left side, that is FDA. Length of BC segment and length of AD segment are equal. As their lengths are equal, magnetic field on the AD segment, magnetic field on the BC segment, they are non-uniform, but they are identical. Therefore, length of this conductor and as well as current flowing in that and magnetic field is uniform. So therefore, these both magnitudes will be same and their directions are different. Therefore, FDA and FBC, it's not B, it is D. FDA and FBC cancel each other. They cancel each other. Now, what is left over? There are only two forces acting upon this square loop which is placed. What are they? FAB. What is FAB? F is equal to BIL. Sine 90, however, will be 90. Now, what is magnetic field B? Magnetic field here will be, I name it as B1, which is equal to mu naught. Current in this conductor is I1 divided by 2 pi into x1 into current in the square loop is 2 and the length of the conductor, it is AB. This is AB length. So AB length is 4 centimeter. I will just write it as AB. That is force acting on AB. What is its value then? FAB will be equal to 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. What is current I1? It is 3 ampere divided by 2 pi into, what is distance over there? 2 centimeter into current in the square loop. It is 2 ampere. And what is length AB? 4 centimeter. This centimeter gets cancelled. This 2 and 2 gets cancelled. And this is 2. What is left over here? 3 to 6. 6 4 24. It is 24 into 10 power minus 7 Newton. That is force acting over there. Next, force acting on CD is equal to mu naught I1 divided by 2 pi x2 into current in this is I2, length is CD. This is equal to 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. Current is 3 ampere divided by 2 pi. What is x2? X2 is length from here to here. It is 5 centimeter plus this 2 centimeter and this 5 centimeter because it is this here. Therefore, it is 7 centimeter into current in this segment is 2 ampere. It is 2 And what about this length? It is 4 centimeter. Fine. Centimeter gets cancelled. This 2 pi and this 2 gets cancelled. It is 3 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 by 7 into 10 power minus 7, and 4 is left over here into 4. 12 4 is 48. 48. This is FCD. This is FCD. Now FCD and FAB both are not same. What about the directions of the force acting on AB and CD? AB current is left side. I can use Fleming's left hand rule. Magnetic field is into, current is this side. So force acting is upward. So upon this conductor, force is upward. This is FAB. And what about this one, CD? CD current is right side and magnetic field is into. Thumb represents the force. So this is downward. So downward I am taking it as negative. Upward I am taking it as positive. So this is plus and this is minus. Therefore, F net will be equal to minus 48 by 7 plus 24 into 10 power minus 7 Newton. This is the final expression for force acting on the square loop. Yeah. Students, whenever you are getting this kind of problem, you can directly use this relation. F is equal to mu naught I1 I2 into length of the conductor divided by 2 pi into 1 by x1 minus 1 by x2. This is the formula which you can use. I1, I2 are the currents flowing in the square loop and straight current carrying conductor. L is length of the loop which you are taking. X1 and X2 are the positions of AB segment and CD segment.